Hey, this is Tom here. I wanted to talk about manifesting. We are all manifesting. We're all manifestors. We have been manifesting our lives from the very beginning since we are little babies. Okay? So you can shop around on YouTube for all the best techniques, tricks, whatever. You're just fooling yourself. Okay? You don't need any of those gimmicks. And I'm not going to give any of those gimmicks because they're gimmicks. All you're doing is limiting yourself by looking for the next, what I call, shiny object that shows up in a YouTube thumbnail saying, "This works!" Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. Works in 3 minutes or less! Exclamation point. It's all bull. You're fooling yourself. Okay? You're fooling yourself and you're leading yourself down the rabbit hole. All right? There's always another content creator out there willing to post that stuff in order to get more views. Okay? I'm telling you like it is. You are already a manifestation expert. The only thing you have to learn, if anything, is how to control your thoughts. Okay? You need to control your mental diet, which is what Neville Goddard has been saying for decades, right? Before I was even born, before you were born, anything. So that's what you need to do, if anything, is to read Neville Goddard's books, listen to Neville Goddard's, you know, audios, which are all over YouTube. You can watch them anywhere. If you look in my channel, I have a bunch in there, which I'd love to get some more views on them, right? There's a lot more I can post in there, but I'm trying to do it in a controlled fashion, not a huge dump all at once. But there's a lot out there. That's all you need to do. All this stuff about, new technique, works in 3 days, works in 1 day, works in 24 hours. It's all up here. All right? It's all up here. You need to feel after him. And him is God, your inner God self, your inner God being. That's what you need to do. Right? Is to control what you're thinking about, control what you're expecting out of life, because life reflects back to you what you expect. Now we all we all have challenges in this regard, and I'm no different. And none of these experts on YouTube are any different. Some of them may have just learned how to control their thoughts and their mental diet to the point where they can reach the feeling of the wish fulfilled quicker than someone who's undisciplined. Okay? So that's really all it is. And it takes some practice. And you can practice using your imagination, using what Neville Goddard called your mind's eye, your imagination. When you run that movie in your head, right? And you have to think from the wish fulfilled. You don't just think of it. And that's really the key here, is to put yourself into this immersive movie. Look as if you're looking through your own eyes in the movie in your head. Live it, feel it, touch it, smell it, hear it. All these senses in your mind's eye, in the dream, the imaginal act. Don't look at it from the outside looking in, like there you are on the screen and you're doing this. No. Think about it as if you're looking through your own eyes, like you do in your regular 3D reality. That's the thing. You need to feel it. And when you enter that feeling of the wish fulfilled, because you see, we're manifesting anyway. Your whole life is a manifestation up until this point. So you already are a manifestation expert, but it's every stray thought, every stray worry. Now, whether you're doing through affirmations or any of this stuff, imaginal acts, SATs, which is state akin to sleep before bed or before some sort of meditation or something like that. These things, are all just ways to reach that feeling, to impress the subconscious, right? To get that feeling through into your higher self, which is what controls everything. So which changes your reality and reconfigures everything so that you see it and experience it in what we call the 3D, your regular waking reality. And whenever you obsess over something bad or you argue with someone in your head, that's what the mental diet is. You have to train that mind to not give in, to not get triggered, right, by things that happen in your 3D. Because when you sit there and you argue with people in your head, or it's basically you get what you expect, right? So if you expect that someone is going to be giving you problems, whether it's a boss or whoever else in your life, someone you're in some sort of a relationship with, that's what you will get. That's what you will get. And we all, no one's, come on, I mean, no one's perfect at this, right? Everybody's going to, from time to time, give in to that, whether it's a need to tell someone off or whatever. You get sucked in. And this is reality. You get sucked in. So, I guess there are some people who are just so good at it that they only get what they focus on. So that's the whole idea here, is to focus on what you want to experience, right? And, you can do it through many means. You can do it through many means, through regular daily, what Neville Goddard called, pruning the bush or pruning the tree, right? You wisely wound the tree. In other words, when you prune, say, a fruit tree or something, you don't let it grow out wildly. It's like your imagination. You don't let it grow out, every stray thought go off, because then you're going to get chaos in your life, because these things are all going to manifest. You have to selectively prune, get rid of the thoughts and the things you don't want, right? And then you wisely wound the tree, right? When you cut a tree, you're wounding it, but you're wisely wounding it. You're cutting out the mental diet. You're controlling it. You're cutting out those stray thoughts that are going to bring the chaos into your life, the things you don't want to experience, right? And you're going to try to focus more and more, and you're going to train yourself over time. And it's a process, right? You have to get out of this mode, which we have in this modern world, of instant gratification. Everybody with their smartphones and internet now, streaming, we're used to instant gratification. Look, I'm a little older maybe than some of you looking at this, but when I was a kid, we didn't have mobile phones. We didn't have internet. There was no such thing as streaming. Hell, when I was young enough, there wasn't even cable TV, okay? You watched whatever came in through the antennas. And, my family had a country house when I was younger, and there was like a lot of static on that TV because the reception wasn't that great up in the mountains. And man, there was maybe 6 channels, and they were snowy, static. There's no such thing as all this instant gratification that we have now. So you have to learn a little patience, I guess, is what I'm saying. This instant gratification. Oh, that doesn't work. I tried it for 5 minutes and it didn't work. Are you kidding me? 5 minutes, 10 minutes, a day, a week, a month? You need to go in for the long haul if you want to, change your life. Or you're just going to be subject to the chaos that you're creating by being undisciplined. That's really what it comes down to. And if I'm telling you something you don't want to hear, you'd better heed it. All right? Don't just go hopping around to different channels until you hear something you want to hear, because that's going to bring you down the rabbit hole, and you're going to end up right back, saying, what happened? How come nothing's working for me? You just you just have to discipline yourself and go in for the long haul. And with practice, things will come quicker and easier. But in the beginning, it's a process. You have to learn how to, if you want to consciously, purposefully, intentionally do this, then that's going to take some discipline and some work. You're manifesting everything one way or the other anyway, because that's just the way this stuff is. All right? But most of us aren't happy consciously with our manifestations, because every stray crazy thing, and you're reacting to your 3D as if it's real when, you think it's real and you don't realize you're creating it, and that's your life up to this point. So once you learn this stuff and buy into it and say, wow, I think there's something to this, then it becomes a little more work because now it's up to you. The onus is on you to work with this because I mean, no one else is going to do it for you. And everybody that you experience is you pushed out anyway. So they're feeding back to you what you're pushing out, what you're expecting, what you're thinking. It's a real wild thing to comprehend. And some people can take it and some people can't. Some people just want to go back to sleep again, back into the matrix, and just let it happen randomly. And I can't blame, I guess, some people for doing it that way or just accepting it. It's easier in a way. But then you got to deal with all the stuff that comes your way that you don't really want. If you're going to give into your mental creations and give them the power, then don't cry when they send a lot of stuff your way you don't want to deal with or you don't want to have to endure. If it takes a little bit of mental discipline to start to turn the tide and really enjoy your creation, your deliberate and intentional whatever creation, then that's what it takes. So I don't know how else to say it. I'm not a salesman here. I'm not selling you anything. I don't have anything up here or down there, anything to sell you. So it's just these are my thoughts on it, and I've been doing this a while. When I finally woke up and realized what was going on, and I tested it, and Neville Goddard, for a lot of years I didn't know what it was because I didn't know Neville, but Neville really hit it. I've been through a lot of these teachers, through law of attraction and all this other stuff, and it was always lacking. There was a little bit of truth there, a grain of truth, but then they left a lot out. Neville tied it all together, and he's been around forever before then. I wish I would have discovered Neville 30 years ago. I don't know what took so long. He's been around since before I was born. But I didn't even know about this guy and his specific teachings until probably less than a year ago. So if you're a lot younger, say you're in your teens or 20s, consider yourself lucky you found this root teaching earlier, right? You have that much more time in your physical life to enjoy it. I'm at the end of my road here in a way compared to some of you as far as learning how to really work it. But I know it's true because I know that, things have happened in my life. Now I know the reason why when I wished certain things, they happened. Or when I obsessed over things I didn't like happened, it all makes sense now. So in that, it's worth it for me, right? So, and I want to enjoy what time I have left. I'm not saying, like I'm going to check out tomorrow. I don't plan on that. I'm not that old, but 30 years extra would have been great, right? So use your time wisely is what I'm trying to say. Use it wisely. If you encountered this stuff early on, get onto my channel, look at the Neville Goddard stuff and really understand it. Go onto Amazon and get some of his books. Get the Kindle reader on your iPhone or your I don't know, do they have it on iPhone? I know they have it on Android. And buy them for like 99 cents a pop and read some of them. If you're not a reader, you can listen to his lectures all over YouTube. I've got a bunch in my channel, but learn this stuff. Learn this stuff. Listen to him. And listen, Neville Goddard spoke in a manner that some people may find fascinating. Others today may find a bit boring because of the way he spoke. He was like someone from like the last century. So I find him fascinating. Actually, he doesn't bore me, but some of his more esoteric stuff, he talks about, he does interpret the Bible, which is really cool because he talks about the real meaning of a lot of this stuff, how it really is symbolic, and how it really means something else. And that's fascinating in a way, but a lot of you may not. You want the real meat and potatoes, so to speak, of, broccoli and carrots for you vegans who you really want to know the practical, how do I do this? So some of his, if you go down into my playlist in there, you look for Feel After Him. Feel After Him is probably the most succinct how to. And I've got a few others in there too for how to do this or how to do that. Look at some of my shorts with him in it, where he explains exactly step by step what to do. He explains why things are the way they are. You know, some of them I have a little music track in the background to make it more soothing, to break up the monotony of just somebody talking. Some people don't like that, and they commented on one of my videos, lose the music. Look, I made a whole playlist of ones that have no background music at all. So have at it if that's what you like. I know some of his recordings are old and they're muffled. I try to resample them and take out some of the background noise. There's only so much you can do with these recordings because they're old. You can't add in data that's not there. You can only subtract some of the noise, but some of the stuff is a little muffled. It's hard to understand, and that's just is what it is. They're old recordings, right? So we do what we can with them. So, you know, some of them don't lend themselves to a tiny little low volume background track. Some do. Some are actually very loud and very clear, and those are the ones that are more that are good for that. But I have them in both ways. So anyway, I wanted to fit what I can in here. I don't know how many people are going to watch this video because my channel, as of the recording of this, is relatively new, and sometimes it's hard getting views in the beginning. So if you could like and subscribe, I would appreciate that. If you could share my stuff around, I would appreciate that, right? I really want to help you get the most out of this. So that's my motivation. There's no trick. There's no Patreon. There's no group to buy. There's no coaching. You don't need coaching, okay? Neville Goddard himself said you don't need any of this stuff. He said, if anybody comes to you as a holy man, right? Now, a holy man could mean someone in an organized religion. It also could mean somebody in the religion of self-help, right? If they come to you saying, I will show you everything for a fee, there's the hand, for a fee, then run the other way. He said, hold on to your wallet and run the other way. Now, look, I know a lot of people in this like to make all the extra money from the added benefits. What I'm saying is you don't need it. You don't. You don't need to join a Patreon. You don't need all this extra stuff that people are selling. All you need is Neville's words and techniques, and it's all free. All right, his books are all free. It's all copyright free, right? It's public domain. His recordings, it's all public domain, right? You know, if I hope to get anything out of this channel, it's when I get enough subscribers and view time, maybe monetization, if I'm lucky. If not, oh well. I enjoy doing this anyway, so it's not a loss for me. I enjoy doing it. I want to reach as many people as I can. It would be great. So, I mean, I'm sincere. I'm probably one of the most sincere people you're going to find out here, because I'm telling you right now, you don't need to spend money on this. You want money in your life? Bring it into your life, right? Bring it in. Get rid of all the limiting stuff. Stop reacting to your 3D. Stop getting triggered. Stop arguing with people in your head. I'm giving you all these tidbits right now in one video, and I will reiterate it in other ones, okay? Listen to Neville. Listen to Neville. Listen to his steps, okay? That is all you need. So there you have it. So I hope my in-your-face, you know, there used to be a guy, Crazy Eddie, price is so low, he's practically giving it all away. It was like a crazy commercial thing. I used to love that guy. He was crazy, in your face. He was passionate, you know. Well, that was a commercial guy. It wasn't the real guy. But anyway, I you know, just decide what you want. Decide what you want to create and create it. I got background messages popping up here, annoying. So, that's that. This is roughly a 20-minute video. I'm going to upload it. I may put a thumbnail on it, I may not, but you don't need anything except Neville. Neville's the only teacher you need. There's other good ones like this Joseph Murphy guy and some others, but you know, there's Arnold Patent and all that, but a lot of this stuff is so vague. They make it so vague. I mean, I don't know. I've seen it all, even from when I was a kid. The Seth books, this, that, and the other thing. You know, Jane Roberts Seth books. A lot of this stuff is very like woo, like even Esther Hicks. I mean, she just goes on, and sometimes it's like they talk and they talk and they talk and they say nothing. At the end of it, you don't have any actionable things you can do. They tell you, oh, you got to do this, oh, you got to do that. You think of it, but ultimately, there's not. Neville gives you actionable things. He says, this is what you do. This is how you do it. And he says, gives it to you. And there it is, easy. So go into my playlists, go into my videos, listen to the Neville stuff, play it until it gets through all the stuff that's in there, okay? And I'll see you in another video. Please like and subscribe, please. I'm not selling you anything. Like and subscribe. Later.